All right, everybody. I want to welcome all of you to our Mission Possible call this evening. And it's so great to see all your beautiful smiling faces. And, we just celebrated Thanksgiving and we have so much to be grateful for. Not only our friendships and relationships that we have, but for this amazing Juice Plus business and just building teams and meeting people all over the world. So I want to thank each of you for joining us this evening, because when you show up, it shows how much you respect and how much you care, not only for your team, but for all of us together. So I am just so honored. We're going to get right into our call tonight. I am truly honored to have the opportunity to introduce Jackie Klein as our guest speaker this evening. Jackie's the National Marketing Director here in St. Louis, Missouri, and she's actually going to be sharing her story as she talks with us. So instead of me giving you a long introduction of all the amazing, fantastic things that she does and who she is, she's going to share that with you herself. So let's all welcome Jackie. Jackie, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Okay, I unmuted myself, so thank you guys. First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me. It's an honor to be asked anytime in the Juice Plus family to speak and share your story. And I highly respect your leaders. I really have a great time and highly respect BJ Crabtree. She and I get to work together on the St. Louis Co-op, and she is always rising up, just know that. And so when she asked me to be a speaker tonight, I was really excited. And then on top of that, I just don't know that I don't even know who I might respect more than Sharon and Dave Rankin in the Juice Plus community. They're just such givers and such solid rocks of truth in our community. And I'm thrilled for you all that you're on their team. And I know that one reason I'm here today is because of them. They mentored Wendy Campbell back in the day before I was here. I'm on the Campbell team, and Wendy will tell you that Sharon was one of her main, mentors here in the St. Louis area. And I've just grown to love them. And I was just like, woo, honored to be, invited. So, okay, enough of that. I'm going to share my story, and then I am going to share a little bit of my background. And then I'm going to go into why I believe this is the right place at the right time for not only you as you build your businesses, but as you share our mission and our product, because it's an obligation at this point, guys, to really get the word out about fruits and vegetables and the power that they have, and then also that our product line absolutely bridges that gap and is backed by research. So that's a powerful piece of why I do what I do. And let me just get into my story. About 20 years ago, a little bit less, but around 20 years ago, my mom was suffering from fibromyalgia, and she started taking fruit and vegetable capsules. That's all they had at the time. And she got them from her Bible study friend, a lady named Dee Lieberg. And she told me about them, but as any good family member and daughter, I completely ignored her. So family can be tough sometimes. Keep that in mind for yourselves and for your team members as they're coming in. It's not always easy, right? But the next thing I knew, this Bible study lady was sending me information, and I did not look at it. I live in St. Louis, and I lived here then. I'm married, and I have 3 children. They were little at the time. Now they're grown. I was working as a CPA. I'm a certified public accountant by background. And I was working at that time at BJC Health System, which is a huge health system in the St. Louis, Missouri, Midwest area. And I just didn't have time to look at the information. That's all I can remember. That's all I can remember about it. And Dee kept calling, and one day I just ordered it. Well, it showed up, and my husband David took a look at it and said, "What is this?" Now, he works in the operating room. He's worked for pharmaceutical companies. He knows he's looking for research. And he said, "What is it?" And I had to say, "I don't know, but it's helping my mama." And I just love to tell that, because you can get to the top of the company with that kind of a story. Like, I don't know. And he looked at the research. There were 4 studies at the time, and now there are almost 40. And he was so impressed that he came and said, you know, you and the kids should take this. I said, well, that's great. Oh, good. I don't have to send it back. And what about you? And he said, well, he was going to eat right. So I love that part of the story too. You bump into people that get our mission. They get our message of eating the rainbow, and they're going to try to do it, which is phenomenal, but it's like next to impossible. Everybody needs our product, to be honest with you. And so he looked at the research, and the kids and I started taking it. My asthma went away. I got off my inhaler, my antihistamines. I stopped getting bronchitis, sinus infections. I saw changes. And the one in our family who was going to eat right ends up in our doctor's office with high blood pressure in his early 30s. And the doctor recommended Juice Plus to him. So thank you to all of you medical professionals that are out there, and thank you to those of you that share it with medical professionals, because that is what gets us going, right? That's what really gets our attention. These doctors, these nurses, these personal trainers, anybody that we respect in the health field, we get excited when we hear their recommendation, and that's what happened to me. I mean, honestly, the CDs and DVDs or whatever they were sitting on my desk forever, over a year, hadn't looked at any of them. And yet when my doctor recommended, and I went, oh my gosh, what's happening? You know, I'm seeing changes, and the doctor's recommending it. So that's when I watched a video with Dr. Du Bois, and I learned that there's fruits and vegetables in these capsules. I was like, no wonder it's working. I was so pumped. And I started telling everyone. I called my friend Dee, my rep, and I said, okay, for $50 a year, I'm a CPA. I want to get it at the best price, but I am not sharing this stuff. And so she signed me up. I told her I wasn't going to do a wellness presentation. And though I did start talking. I couldn't keep it to myself. I watched a video. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's backed by research. My doctor's recommending it. And I started telling everyone. And these are the years that I got to know Gail. Gail was up doing events at BJC for me, for all of us. He was up there doing events up at one of the highest caliber medical centers in the United States. And he would invite people to speak, and I would come, and I would even bring some of my coworkers, because it was, right where I was in the facility where I was working. So thank you, Gail and Mary, for that. And I just started to build a customer base. So that was great. I was excited that someone put fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and I started to get customers. But I really wasn't interested in the paycheck, guys. I really was more excited about what had happened in our family, and the concept. I just really was all about the concept. But what happened next is that I got invited to go, to do one of those 3-way calls, with an NMD like Wendy Campbell. And she challenged me. And we did our call on September 11th, 2001. Can you imagine how crazy that day was, and that Wendy Campbell didn't cancel the call? And I don't remember much about the call, except that she challenged me that if I believed in this product and thought every child should be on it, like my children, then how dare I hold back and not tell my friends and their kids, and who was I? So all I walked away from that 3-way call was wanting to explore more. I wanted to go to a Branson boot camp. I wanted to go to a conference. I wanted to know the company behind it, because really, to be honest with you, I took Juice Plus without knowing what was in it. I gave it to my kids without knowing what was in it. I did trust my mother. I did trust my husband. And though I didn't know what was in it until a year later. But when it came to sharing the business, inviting people into a business, oh my gosh, I was a CPA. I did not want to put my financial reputation on the line for a fly-by-night company. And I really, really, really had a lot of questions about the company, network marketing, the industry, and all that. So guess what? I went to a boot camp. I went to the Branson boot camp, which is my boot camp. I also went to a conference, and the more I heard, the more I got my questions answered, whether they were conscious or subconscious. They were holding me back. And when I finally got the big picture of not only this product and the integrity and character of Jay Martin and this company, I was unstoppable. And that's when I finally, after a year of being a customer and a year of being a rep, finally started inviting people onto my team. Okay, so there's hope for everybody that's on your team that hasn't started doing that yet. They don't even know what they don't know. And all we can do is continue to be persistent, lovingly persistent, and invite them to these events, invite them to three-way calls, invite them to hear these Zooms, invite them to more stories so that they'll do those steps to get their questions answered and be unstoppable. Okay. So after that, after I finally got my questions answered, it was 4 years to be a national marketing director, where I did quit that CPA job, and my oldest child was just getting ready to go to middle school. And I had really, truly enjoyed being a working mom when my kids were little. And I truly, truly respected the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom when I had middle schoolers and high schoolers. And they had, you know, their schedules were a little bit different, and their challenges were a little different. Okay, so with that, I do want to share a little bit more about what I believe about our company and this opportunity. I call it the right place at the right time. I really do believe we're at the right place at the right time, on the verge of making America great again and really turning around the health picture of this country. Okay. So first of all, I've got, let's see, what did I say? I wrote down 5 things that I realize that I think are setting us apart, that give us a huge opportunity, not only for ourselves, but for us to get articulate to share with our current reps and our partners, current partners and our future partners as you're inviting people into this business. First and foremost is the mission. We are mission led. That sets us apart, guys. There are other home-based businesses. There are other corporations. There's other small businesses. They all have good mission statements and this and that, but we are truly mission-led. We are changing the health picture of our country one child at a time, one family at a time, one church at a time, one school at a time, one community at a time. It takes an army of all of us opening our mouths and being bold and being courageous to just share what we know, to see if they're open information, to see if we can make a difference in these kids' and families' lives. We are mission-led, and we are, you know, it's exciting. We also have a limited product line, which for me means that we do have that mission. I don't even know if I'm right on this or not, but whenever I would see a home-based business, a network marketing company that had a catalog of stuff, I mean, really wide variety, like, you know, paper towels, makeup, lotions, soap, jewelry, I don't even know, books, I mean, whatever, you know, they just kept coming up with more products. It just felt like you're being sold to. And I'm not dissing anyone, just know that. I don't have anyone in mind. But for me, when I felt like I was sharing the message of fruits and vegetables, that they could save your life, and that we had 5 or 6 simple solutions to help them, you know, which one do they want? Do they want Tower Garden? Do they want a shake that fills them up? Do they want the capsules with all that research, you know, because they're simple? That narrow product line not only makes our lives simple because they all tie back to common sense of fruits and vegetables, but it really sets the tone of our mission, okay? That we really are about educating them and meeting them right where they're at and seeing if they're one of our simple solution products is going to make a difference for them. Okay, the second thing that sets us apart, and as an entrepreneur, I just knew this in my heart the day I saw it, what is that? This is a revolutionary product that no one else has ever thought of, that no one else can make, that ever will make. We have no competition. That is absolutely changing the world. Okay, now I know that sounds big, but listen, revolutionary idea. Somebody put fruits and vegetables in a capsule and backed it up with research. All right. Somebody made a protein shake that actually tastes good and is plant-based. Somebody bought the rights from Epcot, you know, Tim Blank to grow a tower garden, hydroponic gardening. That we don't have competition. Even if Johnson & Johnson wanted to compete with us, because we're such a big market now, they wouldn't be able to. It takes farmers to do this. It takes relationships to do this. It takes a proprietary process to do this. They do everything in a test tube. They can't compete with us, and nor can they catch up with 25 years of research, guys. It's revolutionary. It matters. It makes a difference. And we have something. It's almost like getting a stock tip in the 30s that you should invest in, Ford company. Okay. Think about it. Like if someone told you to invest in cars, back in the 20s and the teens, you'd be like, why do we need that? But yes, we need this. The whole world needs it. So don't undervalue this product line and the message that we have. Okay, moving forward, we have a track record of success. I really value that. Jay Martin is still at the helm of this company, and he has set up really character quality people to take over for him as we move forward. And guess what? Everything he's put his little finger on has turned out well. Okay, so we had smoke detectors, air filters, water filters. Back when nobody knew why they needed them, we were doing the education on water filters and air filters, and then everyone learned. Then they really did become commonplace. They're in Walmart. And guess what? This company was smart enough to come up with Juice Plus in a capsule and protein shakes and the research and the omegas and Tower Garden. So we really are set apart with that track record. If you want to align yourself with a company, look at their track record. They're like masterful at picking the right thing at the right time. And I have to add that the Family Healthy Starts, the prior children's health study, the fact that we give it to children for free, and we have an installment plan, again, revolutionary concepts that set us apart to help families truly get healthy. I kind of hit on this, so I'm going to go a little fast, but the integrity of our leadership really makes me sleep at night. I'm a CPA, and my strongest background, I worked in tax a little bit and a few other areas, but my strongest background was really with internal audit. I don't know if you all are familiar with that, but I was in internal audit, and I was in charge of trying to set up internal controls in companies to make sure that there's no fraud or abuse, and make sure that there's checks and balances to make sure that things run well. And one of the biggest problems when you found some sort of fraud in a corporation, it usually went all the way to the top, to be honest with you. Even if the top president and board of directors were not necessarily completing the fraud or doing the fraud, they were setting up an integrity issue. They were setting up a character issue. They were valuing bonuses or setting up expectations to kind of create a situation where somebody might want to implement a fraud. Okay, so just saying, it's a culture, it's a integrity thing. And what I find with Jay Martin and Sean Hopkins and Randy Matthews and all the leaders in our company is that they're doing the next right thing as best they can. They are always making decisions that are best for us. And they're choosing products that are revolutionary that no one else makes. They're setting up our compensation plan that way. They're looking into our future to make sure that we're having growing fields that are good to go, so that we won't one day wake up and go, oh my gosh, there's no carrots. What are we going to do? They are really looking into the future and making decisions that are best for us. And inherently, network marketing does that. That's one of the beauties of our industry. Let me just go into the industry. That's one of the beauties of our industry, is that the way we've set up our marketing plan is that they want us as reps to succeed. So we're their customer. They're making decisions best for us, not best for the stockholders of a corporation, not necessarily best for the banks that have loaned them a ton of money to, handle their life. So inherently, the network marketing industry, even with some of its flaws and some of the corrections that our company has made over the years, is set up to set us up for success. Okay, now we have to work. We have to talk to people. We have to invite people into our business. We have to plug into our system. We need to show up for conferences and events and do the work. but they are out for our best interest. They want us to get to the top of the company. They want as many people up there as possible, which is a different, concept and culture than corporate America. So with that said, I think I have 9 more minutes. Is that right? It's a 30-minute call. I really wanted to just share my thoughts on the new compensation plan. Hopefully a lot of you were in Austin and heard it. Hopefully a lot of you have been on calls, and I'm sure lots of stuff from on this Mission Possible team have been available to you. But let me just do an overview, okay? I love it. I love it. I love it. It's setting so many of us up for success in the future. It's setting our team members up for success. And it's very equitable to be paying bigger dollars, more dollars, to the ones that are doing the work of sharing Juice Plus as a product and inviting people onto the team. So the first thing I love about it is its simplicity. We got into, over the years, a complicated plan that was very normal for our network marketing industry. A lot of companies had gotten into these points and PVC things, and we've switched it to dollars. That is going to make it more simple for you to explain to somebody new. The pricing changes make a ton of sense. Some things have gone up and some things have gone down, but it all is for the purpose of making sense, okay? So it's going to roll off your tongue. The Duo's $50, the Trio's $75. It's going to make sense that all the complete products are the same price, okay? And there's no 25 cents here and 50 cents here. It's all even dollars, including the shipment. It just is going to be simple, okay? And I hate to say it, but I didn't realize how much I think the complexity of the plan and how hard it is to explain was holding many of us back. I could do it because I've been here for 20 years or almost 20 years, and I'm a CPA, so I could do it. But I was having to do it for a lot of my team. Okay, so all of you are going to be very empowered to share the compensation plan and the prices and how it makes sense, because guess what? The sales profit's just 10%. The commission rates make sense, 5, 10, 15. The bonuses on top of that for qualifying your business is 3%. The qualifying for POB as a sales coordinator is 3%. This is going to roll off your tongue. So be very confident in that, even though change is hard. Embrace it and figure out that this is easier than the plan you were trying to learn before, okay? And I think that's really going to move you forward. I'm also excited, let me think, that they've got some new positions in our compensation plan that make sense. So as you look at the plan, you're going to notice that it takes a little bit more dollars, not points, but dollars, promotional dollars to get to some of the steps, but it takes a little bit less for some of those promotions to get to. And the reason they did it is for simplicity. They want the stair step to make sense, so going from the Partner Plus, which was DD, and VF to now Qualifying Sales Coordinator, and then Sales Coordinator is actually easier to get to. And then the new one, Qualifying Senior Sales Coordinator. That's a big deal. That's such a big deal. The jump isn't as big, but they all make sense if you start to look at the points, dollars, points / dollars it takes to get there, and the team building and that it takes to get there. It's going to make sense. And on top of it, I really believe they added a ton of money in title rewards for all those stepping stones. There's like $100,000 and almost $10,000 in title rewards. I would say there was maybe $30,000 there before. That's a big jump, guys. Do you think the company is trying to put more money in our pockets? Do they think they're trying to give us opportunities to share with our new people and bring them in? The $110,000. And I just have to say this too. I am in the position where I never received a penny for any of the promotions that I got along the way because they just weren't in place at the time. And I don't feel bad at all. I have been receiving residual income for all of the customers and the team building and duplication that I built all along. But if you had to add $110,000 to that, woohoo! I mean, really, guys, grasp on to that. I'm just trying to build your belief in this company and the industry, but the company is stepping it up. We're getting more competitive with the other network marketing companies with the dollars and the simplicity. And to be honest with you, there's nobody out there with the product line and the mission that we have. So I think the last thing I just want to add real quick is that I really have looked at this, and you can ask me later and box me or whatever, but I really believe it's fair. It's really a fair plan that's putting more money in most of our pockets, okay? Now, the people that are going to get paid more as of January 1st are the sales coordinator with a qualified business. So if you're not there, you'll want to get there. If you have people that you love and appreciate on your team that aren't there, you're going to want to get them there. It's going to take like one or two more orders to stay qualified. So if they're close to qualifying every month, we want to give them a fair warning. We want to help them get another trio order or so. But they have the whole year of 2020 to get there, okay? To stay qualified, get qualified. And, you're going to want to, if you're going to camp out at the top commission level of 15% as a sales coordinator, okay? And you're going to want to get as many people there as possible. And honestly, for a lot of us on this team, January 1st rolls around and we get a little pay raise just because of the way they're calculating. Getting a lower percentage on dollars is a higher dollar amount for most of us. Okay. So the commission rates went down, but the dollars went up. A smaller rate on a larger dollar amount is going to give most of us a raise just for doing nothing. But guess what? We want to be responsible, and we want to make sure that all of our team are getting to sales coordinator, getting that $500 bonus. We want to make sure that they are qualifying their business to maximize their paycheck, and we want to lead by example. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to BJ and see if you guys have questions or how you want to end it. I just encourage you guys to be bold, invite more and more people into our business, revisit with everyone on your team that it's more simple and there's more dollars, and you're excited about it, and would they be open to a new conversation? Maybe something in their lives changed, but definitely something on our end has changed. And they might just be ready to re-engage, take another look, get themselves qualified, or go to the top. So.
That's excellent, Jackie. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to be very appreciative of everybody's time, but what I'm hearing is clear vision. Having a clear vision, 2020 vision, going into 2020. The possibilities are so huge for each of us, everyone. And I understand about those bonuses. We've shared and worked, and those weren't there for us when we were in, but they are for all of you, for everybody. And so, Jackie, just thank you so much for your time tonight. Thank you for sharing your heart. I just love having the opportunity to partner with you and have the opportunity to work with you. So we are just truly very honored that you shared with us tonight. Thank you. I'm going to unmute so everybody can tell Jackie thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week on our Excellent. More call. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.